Hello folks, my name is Jack, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a topic that I've talked about before. I know some of you thinking to yourself, no Jack, not that topic. It's not going to be exactly that topic, but it's related to that topic, and the topic is, of course, are babies atheists? I know, you're thinking to yourself, you've got to be kidding me, right Jack? No, actually, no I'm not. You know, the only reason why this whole topic comes up is because, believe it or not, there's actually a substantial amount of atheists on YouTube. Granted, not all atheists, but there are plenty on YouTube who think that there is something meaningful to be conveyed in making the assertion that babies are atheist. They think that this is conveying something about something or another, and there is actually, I would say, argue a profound amount of confusion and ignorance regarding language and philosophy and all these sort of things that people are exhibiting, primarily among the YouTube atheist community as it relates to this topic especially. Now, like I said already, there are plenty of atheists who think it is completely stupid to say that babies are atheist. This is actually a response to Bionic Dance. Hello, Bionic Dance. We talked back in the day on Blog TV. I don't know if you remember, but I do. So anyways, Bionic Dance, this is how I would approach this issue of babies being atheist. We give labels to people and to things. We describe things. I can say, for example, that someone is a Republican or a Democrat. That's one way of me, describing or labeling someone. Now, I can also say that someone is overweight or skinny. I can say that someone is beautiful or ugly. There are different ways in which we can go about, describing people or labeling them in some way. Now, when I say that someone is overweight, what exactly am I saying? Well, what I'm saying is that I having seen them, based upon their physical appearance, I'm making some sort of judgment about them based upon their weight, and I'm saying they are overweight, right? So we use words, we label people, we describe them based upon their physical appearance. Okay, that's one set. So there's one group right there. We use labels, describe people based upon external factors. That's to the side. Then there's a second group. The second group is when we use descriptive words and labels as a means of referring to people's beliefs, opinions, ideas that they hold to in whatever way. Now, it works like this. There is a proposition or an assertion. Let's say the assertion or the proposition is X is the case. And we have an individual that says, yes, I agree, X is the case. And then we have another individual that says, no, X is not the case. And so what happens is these two individuals, they look at each other and they say, well, because you said X is the case, I'm going to label you. I'm going to say that you are this. And then the other person is going to say, well, because you said X is not the case, I'm going to label you this. It provides a means in some ways as a way of easily referring to certain things without having to go into this in-depth process of explaining exactly what we're talking about. So when people say I'm a Republican or Democrat, in general, it just sort of provides an easier means of conveying sort of thoughts and ideas about our position. Now, babies can't do any of that. Babies are not responding or engaging or interacting or having any sort of discussion or dialogue regarding any propositions, any assertions at all. And as such, to go about giving them labels such as atheist or theist is simply ridiculous and absurd because we don't use language in such a way. Now, the only reason why it seems to me that you think that I don't even know if you think it's meaningful. I mean, you say babies are atheists. I don't know if you think it's meaningful to say that they are. But whether it is or not, the confusion here, first of all, so that's that aside. I mean, that's just why it's just completely ridiculous why to even begin to label babies is because they don't engage with any proposition, any assertions, which is the foundation by which we even begin to assert labels upon each other or give them to ourselves, is because we engage with the ideas, with the beliefs, with the opinions, with these sorts of things. We respond to them and we give ourselves or other people give us labels. Now, there has to be engagement with that in some way. Either an individual says, yes, X is the case, or they say, no, X is not the case, or they say, I don't know if X is the case, or they say, I need more information before I can decide if X is the case. There is no option in there with regards to, what's the other options in there? I mean, if you said, well, the other option is not to respond at all. Okay, well, rocks don't respond. Trees don't respond. We don't label, I mean, the fact of the use of language and how we use labels is we don't label things that don't engage with the assertion. We don't label babies because, like rocks and trees, they aren't actually engaging or responding in any way to any proposition or to any assertion, which is why we don't give them the label atheist or theist. Now, it seems to me as part of the confusion is you like to bring in, you've clinged on to this word, which is very unfortunate, and I'm sorry, and hopefully you will stop using it. I don't know. You're using the word lack. And this, oh my word, I've done countless videos over the years over this, and you demonstrate so clearly how the confusion sets in. And the confusion sets in because people like yourself, and there's a large portion on YouTube who do, will say, I lack a belief in God. And actually what they're conveying, all they're doing is saying, in response to this assertion, it is not the case. So in response to the assertion, God is the case, they are saying, no, God is not the case. Or they're saying, in some cases, I don't have enough information to know if God is the case. I'm undecided if God is the case. But they are engaging. They are responding to the assertion, to the proposition in some sort of way. That is the nature of the discussion. That is the nature of us even beginning to assert these sorts of labels as it relates to these beliefs, opinions, ideas that we hold. Now, when you say lack, all you're saying is, Jack, I don't believe in your God. And what's happening is you're confusing that, and you're taking that, the context, the sense of you saying lack as it relates to you responding and engaging with my beliefs or with other people's beliefs, and you're confusing that, and then you're pushing it out here and divorcing it from the context and the reality of how you go about using that word, and you're saying, well, now lack means that you don't have it. And so you're confusing the word lack, which of course is what I've been saying for years now on YouTube, is that people confuse it. They don't know what the heck they're talking about. Yes, in one sense, I understand they're saying they don't believe in God, and so they'll say, I lack a belief in God to avoid whatever issues they think they're avoiding. But then they want to take the next step, and now all of a sudden babies lack a belief in God, and they want to use the word lack in a completely different sense. I lack strength. I lack virtue. I lack wisdom. No one goes about speaking of lacking beliefs. The only people who do this are atheists on the YouTube. I've never in real life ever encountered anyone who has ever expressed their belief in terms of lacking something. Because it is completely and utterly ridiculous and absurd when you really begin to think about it. Because if we start labeling people based upon them lacking a belief, everyone would be a lacker of something. And of course, what a stupid world that would be if we defined ourselves by the fact that we lack every other belief that is out there. The complete and utter nonsense. It's so ridiculous. But it happens among countless YouTube atheists here and whatever. But like I said, there are plenty of atheists who don't do it. But there's enough that do that make it somewhat funny. Y'all take care. Peace be with you.